In the last video, we had seen how we can install the endpoint protection agent on the client machine. Now in this video, we will see post installation of the endpoint protection agent. You need to configure the policies for your endpoint protection for scanning or for threat detection and all. So we'll go on the policies tab inside the configure options on endpoint protection dashboard, and we can see there are there is the default policies configured, and this policy having multiple options for various products including threat protection, peripheral control, application control, data loss prevention, web control, update management, and last one is the Windows firewall. So even we can manage the Windows firewall as well from the endpoint protection of Sophos Central Admin. Sophos Central Admin console provides two type of policy. First is the default policy, which comes once you register the Sophos Central Admin SaaS admin from Sophos, and next one is the custom policy, which you can create and you can customize the options including threat protection or peripheral device control and all. So the custom policy can be created from the add policy option over here. So first we will see what are the options inside the threat protection default policy. So we'll go on the base policy threat protection options over here. So I'm going to click over here, and once I click on the base policy of threat protection, so this policy is divided into four segments. First is the users, computers, next one is the groups, settings, and policy enforced. So basically base policy is the default for all users and computers, and it will be used where there is no other policy assigned. So all the users where policies are applied, that will come over here, and next one is the groups, and this is settings, and next one is the policy enforced. So here we can see users and computers. So as per the Sophos Central Admin, this is the base policy and applied for all users and computers. And you can just customize it, as I earlier told you that you can create a policy and you can assign the policy as per users or computers. And now we'll see the settings options inside the base policy. So this is the recommended settings which is provided by the Sophos admin and Sophos Central Admin. And here you can also modify the base policy. So just you need to uncheck these options and you can just modify the settings as per your company requirement. And first option is the live protection. So live protections basically check the latest threat informations from Sophos lab. This is really a important part of Sophos Central, because whenever any new threat comes on your machine, so it should be also informed to the Sophos Labs. So Sophos Labs will just provide the updates to their customers, and it will also provides a new experience to detecting the latest threat for us as well as also from other customers. So live protections needs to be enabled always, and the data may leave your geographic region and be shared with Sophos engineers for checking the latest threat. As I told you that this will be helpful for us as well as for other customers also. And this is the deep learning options. So in the deep learning, this is also useful when you are just when your endpoint detects some kind of new viruses, and also it will just provides also a detections method. Next one is the real-time scanning, local files, and network sharing. Basically, real-time scanning provides the scanning when you are accessing any shared drive files from network, or you are accessing any local files. So it will just scan the files, and it will also detect the viruses in case any viruses are found on the network drives. So it should be also enabled. And next one is the real-time scanning for internet. This was the local files and network shares. It means you were just trying to access the shared drive or local files locally. But what will happen if you are just downloading some kind of set of files or some kind of zip file from the internet? So it will also scan the files when you are downloading from the internet. Suppose there is a file which is the size of file is 8 GB, and 3 GB has already downloaded. So it will scan the downloads which are in the progress. So it should be also enabled. And next one is the block access to malicious websites. When you enable the malicious sites access, I mean, if you have enabled to block the access of malicious websites, so it will help you to protect your internet surfing. In case if you have just redirected to some other iframe kind of URL, so it will block the malicious website access as well. Next one is the detect low reputations file. So in case of you are accessing any low reputations file, so it will just prompt the user like this is a malicious or some kind of low reputations file. So it will prompt to the user. So there are the two options which you can enable or disable. First is the prompt user. This is the default option. Next is the you can only log only. So this will only log on the server, on the client, but it will not prompt to the user. So I always recommends to you to make it enable prompt user. Reputations level, and it should be strict. And next is the remediations. You can specify the remediations of the threat detections, and if you want to automatically clean up malware, so just you can enable it. And if you want enable threat case creation, so it will create a threat case for your endpoints. Next is the allow computers to send data on suspicious files, network events, and admin tool activity to Sophos Central. So in case someone has just entered the password on the user machine, so it will also sends the activity including admin sign in, and also so this all activity will send to the Sophos Central admin. So if you disable it, so it will not send the details and network events and other activity to Sophos Central. So make it on. And next is the runtime protection. So runtime protection help you to protect the ransomware attack. And next is the protect from master boot record ransomware. So basically this kind of ransomware only attack on your files or folders, but it will also at a boot record ransomware attack on your master boot record of your operating system. So if you disable it, so it will not detect this kind of ransomware attack on your machine. So I recommend to make it on. And next one is the protect critical functions in web browsers. So for safe browsing, you need to just enable it. So in case if you are searching something, and what is the the score of browser, of your system. So this will just help you to protect your protect you to checking to critical functions in the web browser. So safe browsing needs to be enabled. And next one is the mitigate exploits in vulnerable applications. So it should be checked over here. And next one is the protect processes. So this should be also enabled. And next is the dynamic shell code. protection, so you need to also make it enable. And now this is the device isolation. This is the really interesting thing. Like if in case any system has been just compromised, so it will just isolate the system from the network, so no one can access the system. And even it cannot be spreaded over the network. I mean, any viruses which has been detected on the machine or compromised, so it will not allow to spread it on the network. So but it will still communicate with the Sophos Central for resolutions and remediations of the virus attack. So this should be enabled. Next is the scheduled scanning. Scheduled scanning should be also enabled, because if you just configured it and for a specific time frame or days, so the system will automatically scan the system as per the specified time over here. So it should be like 1 o'clock, and this is PM, and the day which you want to enable, like I had just selected Friday. Even you can select multiple days over here, and enable deep scanning, so it will also scan the zip file, the files, I mean any file which is the zipped or CAV file, so it will scan inside the archive files also. So I just selected this. Here you can specify the exclusions. Any file just you want to exclude for the scanning, so you can specify the add exclusion over here. Like if you just want to exclude any MDF or LDF file, so just you can specify the file and folder as well. So this will exclude from the scanning, scheduled scanning, as well as also for the real-time scanning. But if you want to make it only for scheduled scanning, so you can select here. But we don't want to make it any exclusions, but you can make it exclusions as per your company requirement or business requirement. Here you can specify the desktop messages for the endpoint machine. So here you can just specify that contact IT support or IT team kind of messages you can specify, or you can also mention your IT team support number, so it will be easier for the end user to call you regarding any threat detections on your machine. Now once you made the changes, so just you need to save it. And once you will save, this policy has been saved. Now you can also create a custom policy by clicking on the add policy over here. And like you want to create the policy related the feature like threat protection, or any other options like data loss prevention or Windows firewall. So and after that you need to select the type. If you want to configure the threat protections only base of users or devices, you can specify the devices as well. So regardless of a logged on user, the policy will be applied for complete device, whereas if you will select this option, so the policy will only apply for a specific user which you want to enable it. Like you need to just click on the continue, and once you will click on the continue, so you need to again specify the devices. So if you have 5 devices, so you can select the 5 devices as well. Like just you need to just move this machine, and here also you need to specify the policy name as well. So once you will click on the add policy, so you need to select continue, and here you need to specify the policy name like um, sales underscore team threat, or you can specify external user. It's completely depends on you what kind of name you want to assign your policy. So always policy name should be meaningful, so it will be easier for you to identify or to verify the policy and their settings. So you can just specify the policy name like I specified external user over here. Now you will click on the save, and before saving it, because you are going to select the policy as per the user label, so you need to just specify the user. But if you, as I told you, that you can specify the policy as per the device or user base. So I selected the user base, and here once you select this, so after that you can just modify the settings what we did in the base policy. So similarly you can just change it as per your requirement, and after that you need to save the policy. We are not going to change the policy, only we will use the base policy. So we have just cancelled that. So this is the way which you can follow to implement the threat protections related policies on the Sophos Central Admin. And in the next video we will see rest of the options, including peripheral control, application control, and data loss preventions, as well as also we will see how we can control the Windows firewall on the end user machines. Thank you for watching this video.